Okay, hello, my name is Kimberly and I'm here tonight to talk to you about a really neat experience. Have any of you gone out and closed your eyes and wished that you could be amongst lush green grass and high mountains that never end and skies that never end and they go on forever, blue, beautiful skies where the sun never ends? There is a place like this on earth. It is called Peru, South America. Okay? I traveled there a few years ago, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about Peru today. Okay?
All right.
Peru is located in South America, and to get into the country, you fly usually from Florida, and you fly into Lima, which is the biggest city in Peru, and then from there you can go out to the villages, which I did, and travel out to all these little bitty towns. And there's a wonderful mountain range that goes and it borders the whole country, and they're called the Andes. And in this mountain Andean, it's called the Andean Sierra Mountains. And some of these peaks reach up to 19,000 feet in the sky. They're really, really tall, and this borders the whole country. So when you go out to these villages, traveling, you fly in and you travel by bus. And you go along these steep cliffs, and sometimes it takes hours, and then you go down to the Urubamba Valley into where the Quechua and the Spanish Indians live, because there's two types of people that live in Peru. And their two main languages are Quechua Indian and Spanish. And these people, it's really neat because it's like going back in time. The women all wear these really short skirts that they make themselves, and they're brightly colored, red, yellow, blue, all neat colors. And they have all these handmade shawls and woven fabrics that they make. And I brought some stuff to show you. This is some of the cloth that they weave over there. They always use bright colors, and then they make the clothing out of them. So you can pass that around.
Yeah.
So once you get out into the valley, you will experience the true back-in-time cultural experience of these Quechua Indians.
Losing the picture there.
Okay, so out in the outer lying villages, there's little towns called Cusco, Puno, Arequipa, Pisac, and Ayacucho, okay? And all these people live basically without plumbing, without power, and without washing machines and all the modern conveniences. So if you go and visit these people in their homes, they have big holes dug in the bottom of their floors that are dirt, and they do all their cooking in a pit. They don't have stoves, they don't have plumbing, and so the families are really tight-knit, and they all work together as a team and farm, and a lot of their income is brought in by farming beef and lamb and llamas and alpacas. So as you're traveling, you're always looking up and seeing these alpacas all over the mountainsides, which is pretty darn neat. And then when they grow old, the alpacas, they kill them for their meat, and they use their hides. And that's what it looks like on top. Along and out in this valley, there are a lot of really neat ruins, too, that date way, way back, where they were ancient cities. People used to live in these ruins, and they would take mortar and build huge bricks and build walls and build their houses out of this, and this is where the people lived, in these old ruins up on the sides of these mountains. And they built them up there so that they were safe from predators and from the outer lying tribes. A lot of times from the jungles would come in to try to kill the families. So they built up in the mountains in these ruins. And you can go and you can, one of the ruins I went to is called Machu Picchu. It's 2,000 feet above sea level. And it's basically a whole town built on the side of a mountain. And so you can go up there, and there's 150 houses built on the mountain, and you can walk through them. These people also have an amazing amount of talent. They make everything by hand. They hand weave all their cloth. They take the wool from the alpaca and the sheep, and they spin it with drop spindles, and they make their own wool. and then they dye it with plants that they find around, and they knit all these wonderful things. This is some of the knitting they do. It's very tightly woven, Catherine, and they make these wonderful, here's a glove, these wonderful Peruvian hats. I mean, they're bright, they're cheery, and everywhere you go, they're wearing them. Another thing they do is they hand make beads out of ceramics. They have entire families working together as a team, and they roll the clay, and then they hand paint them with these itty bitty bitty tiny little brushes, and they paint scenes. And then they have a clay fired oven, and they bake the beads in the oven, and it's a whole production with the family. They also weave baskets, and they make wonderful musical instruments because these people love music. Everywhere you go, they're playing music. And some of the instruments are the charango, the zampona, and the Andean pipe, which probably all of you guys have seen, right? Somewhere. And they make these wonderful instruments out of conch shells, metals, horns, and mud. And this music is derived from the Spanish, and it's very upbeat. And I'm going to conclude this. I want you to imagine a place like this where you can go and it's going back in time, and people are warm and trusting and friendly, and they take you in, and you just feel like you've gone into another era almost. So if you ever get the opportunity, a chance in this lifetime, visit South America.